Today we are doing another amazing recap. If you enjoy this, please like and subscribe. If you have any requests, please let me know in the comments. Let's begin. The story starts out by mentioning Carlet disease. Carlet disease is caused by unknown reasons and is said to be incurable. Once you are infected, rashes appear all over the body and the skin hardens like stone. A solitary tombstone. Finally, it ends in death. Because of this disturbing phenomenon, rumors spread that contracted patients had struck deals with the devil. The rumors eventually lead to infected families to lose their influence. What's more, no matter how powerful a duchy was, the disease struck indiscriminately. Karina Bifta, a woman with long green hair, sits with closed eyes. Karina Bifta was adopted as a young girl to replace the lost child of the Duke, as she had green hair and golden eyes. She is told that if she plays the part of the dead daughter, that she can have whatever she desires. So even if I was ridiculed by my siblings, I worked hard to keep hope alive and did my best to play my part. A sly smile plays on the lips of the orange-haired, red-eyed woman. Marriage with Grand Duke Hexian? How befitting of your status. An illegitimate child like you can't inherit anything at the duchy anyway. Many years later, we see Karina sitting thinking about her life as the adopted daughter of a duke. We learn that she had been sold off as soon as the duke got a new daughter. Was that really part of the plan? Did you hear? Grand Duke Hexian apparently has a horrendous scar on his face. I wonder if he was cursed by a demon? She thinks to herself that she must remain optimistic. Karina realizes that this might be a start to a new life. Her earlier optimism fading. But I've wasted 10 years at the duchy, so it might be too late now. A brown and white horse struggles against its binds as it stands on its hind legs. The green-haired woman turns her head, surprised, as she hears a loud splash. What? The carriage? With narrowed eyes, the green-haired woman angrily lunges forward. The green-haired woman gasps in shock as a man with gray hair covered in blood grabs her hand. Found her. Found me? The green-haired woman stares down at her blood-soaked hand, fear etched on her face. The guards are all dead? The gray-haired man smiles menacingly, his clothes drenched in blood. Let go. Who do you think I am? You speak an awful lot for a fake. She is confused and looks around. What is this? With such coarse speech and behavior, there's no way these men are knights. Who are you people? But they seem to know me. Why are you wearing the uniforms of the duchy's knights? The green-haired woman smiles cruelly, blood splattered across her face. You'll be dying soon. But you're quick on the uptake, aren't ya? Scraps of paper with frantic writing float through the air. Wait, it can't be. This is an arranged marriage, isn't it? We haven't even gotten married yet. The imperial family and the duchy need this marriage to establish good relations. Even if another daughter was born, I'm still useful. A gloved hand carefully draws a sword from its sheath. The Duke wouldn't try to kill me. I have a message from the Duke. The green-haired man stands with his back turned, hands clasped behind him, looking confident. You've done well until now. A yellow eye glares intently, a single red mark beneath it. Saint, A.B. The green-haired woman lies on the forest floor, blood staining her dress. A man in a dark suit sprawled beside her. Was I being too greedy when I just wanted to be given a little bit of love? The green-haired man stares downward solemnly. Still, he needed me, right? So I wanted to be helpful. Wearing a black choker with a white flower, the green-haired woman gazes downward sadly. I want to go back to the beginning, turn everything back. A dark blue emptiness stretches out, speckled with white dots. Emotions, affections, duties. Just let everything sink into the abyss forever. Adele. Adele. Who? Bathed in white light emanating from below, the green-haired woman lies on a dark blue background, her expression a mixture of hope and despair. Floridas. A brilliant white light shines down from the top of a blue expanse, dotted with white, that fades to a lighter blue at the bottom. Your time. A sense of tranquility permeates the light blue gradient, speckled with white dots. Shall rewind. The green-haired woman's eyes widen in shock. Open, N. The green-haired woman jolts upright in a bed with yellow bedding, her face etched with confusion. WHAA stiffens. The green-haired woman sits up in bed, her breath catching in her throat. Ha, ha, sits up, wait a moment. The green-haired woman stands, her brow furrowed in confusion. Realize, this place. White streaks of light converge on a bright white center in a pale yellow expanse. Where am I? A brown-haired woman waves excitedly as a green-haired woman lies in bed in the background. The weather is nice today, Bella, Shaw. Lost in thought, the green-haired woman stares ahead. No way. Did I survive by sheer luck? The green-haired woman on the bed stares down at her hand, her face creased with bewilderment. But that's just, there's no scar. The brown-haired woman beams brightly. Paris is returning from the academy today. We must quickly get ready. Startled, the green-haired woman in the yellow and white dress sits up in bed. Paris? But it's been 2 years since Paris graduated? Chirp, chirp, chirp. The green-haired woman's eyes widen in surprise. Young miss? Just what is this? Flinch. Holding a tray, the brown-haired maid frowns in confusion. Bella, what year is it right now? Now that I look at it, Bella's uniform also changed a couple of years ago. The brown-haired maid rushes forward, worry etched on her face as the green-haired woman stares down at the floor. Young miss, there's no time. We must hurry and prepare. It's the imperial year 475, year 475. Tears welling in her eyes, the green-haired woman stares down at the floor in shock. I returned to 3 years before my death? Swirling patterns fill a dark void. How could this happen? I'm confused. Am I dreaming? Sunlight streams through the window of a quiet room. I must have somehow gone back in time. After all that's happened, I have no choice but to believe my eyes. The green-haired woman bows her head, deep in thought. Then, the youngest daughter of this house will be born sometime next year. In 3 years, I will leave this place for a political marriage. Tap tap. The green-haired woman in the green dress gazes sadly at her reflection. When my younger sister is born, I will get ignored. The green-haired woman stands tall, determination shining in her eyes. Before the future can repeat itself. Standing on a platform at the top of the stairs, the green-haired woman steels her resolve. That's right. I'll run away, like always. The woman with orange hair, clutching the hand of a green-haired man in a black suit, stares at the floor as they stand amidst a group of similarly dressed men. I'll tighten my corset in order to please those people. The back of a green dress, adorned with a large brown bow, is laced up carefully. Wear a fancy dress. The green-haired woman in the green dress walks resolutely away through a grand archway. And with my own feet, I'll walk towards those cold looks. With a serious expression, the green-haired woman lifts her head, her blue gemstone necklace gleaming. Good morning, mother, father. The orange-haired woman, her red eyes narrowed in seriousness, stares directly ahead. Stop. The green-haired man, his face etched with worry, runs a hand through his tied-back hair. And it's been a while, elder brother. The green-haired man keeps his gaze fixed downward, his disappointment evident. Yeah. As always, he never meets my eyes when he replies. The green-haired woman, her expression pained, lowers her gaze to the floor. He's not even looking in my direction. The green-haired man descends the stairs, his face a mask of annoyance, as the orange-haired man watches from below. Well, it really doesn't matter to me anymore. Paris was always like that. The green-haired man, dressed in a black shirt with a gold-embroidered collar, stares down in deep contemplation. Thorny vines crawl upwards against a dark blue background. To think, after a futile struggle to earn affection, my death was at the hands of my own father. A wooden puppet, painted gray, hangs against a dark blue background, its arms outstretched as if struggling against invisible strings. From now on, I will no longer live as a puppet. The green-haired woman lies in a dark brown field, her light blue dress stained with blood. The green-haired woman in the green dress turns away, disappointment etched on her face. Games anymore. Since I'm not feeling well, I shall take my leave. Curtsy. The green-haired woman lies back against the bed, a contented smile on her face. Previously, I would have sat at the table for 2 arduous hours. Now, I left after only 10 minutes. I wondered if it would be all right. Thankfully, none of them cared. Stretch. A man in formal attire holds a woman in a long dress close, his arm wrapped around her waist, against a pink backdrop of floral patterns and chains. Now that I think of it, there was usually a hunting competition around this time of year, where young ladies would make colorful tassels with a glass bead or pearl for their fiancé or a dashing knight that was participating in the hunting competition. The green-haired woman in the white dress sadly examines her hands. If I want to look natural, I should also make one like I did last time. Although, even back then, I didn't give anyone my tassel. The green-haired woman in the gray dress contemplates quietly as a man clad in ornate silver and gray armor stands nearby. Maybe I should give it to that person, the winner from last time. It should be okay, right? Since he never received one back then either. The green-haired woman looks hopefully at the brown-haired woman standing before her. Okay, I'll buy the materials for the tassel tomorrow. For now, let's go to the study. At young Master Paris's seat. Yes. The green-haired woman pushes the door open, her brow furrowed in thought. My memory of this year is a bit hazy. I need to refamiliarize myself. What kind of books were available 3 years ago again? Creek. A stately house, built of light gray brick, stands amidst lush greenery, its cobblestone walkway leading to a grand entrance. The green-haired woman, dressed in a long dress and apron, looks on with concern as the brown-haired maid beside her gasps in shock. What's going on, Miss Karina? The brown-haired maid throws her hands up, her face a mixture of surprise and worry. I've been looking for you everywhere. Distress and sorrow fill the green-haired woman's face as she looks downwards. Can't you see? These innocent maids are getting punished because of you. The green-haired woman coughs weakly, her face creased with worry. You know better than to wander around like this, Bella. Cough, cough. The green-haired woman lies in bed, racked with coughs, as a maid in a black dress and white apron watches over her. Cough, cough. I have informed the Duke, so please hold on. You should lie down properly. Huff, but, shuff. The brown-haired maid frowns, her expression a mixture of annoyance and frustration. It'll be difficult for me if you keep whining, understood? Ever since I was young, you have never. Tears stream down the green-haired woman's face as she lies in bed, her eyes squeezed shut in despair. Sorry, I'm sorry, Bella. Lost in thought, the green-haired woman gazes into the distance. Shown me any gentleness. That's right. Back then, I must have been too lenient toward you. The green-haired woman looks questioningly at the brown-haired maid, who stares back in shock. Why am I not allowed to wander around as I please? What do you mean why? The green-haired woman jabs her finger accusingly at the brown-haired maid, who glares back furiously. Why are you acting like this? Don't be so selfish. Do I have to explain everything to you? The green-haired woman's eyes widen in frustration, her jaw clenched tight. Ha! Frustration burns in the green-haired woman's eyes. Bella, shut your mouth. The green-haired woman, her face contorted in annoyance, slaps the brown-haired maid, who cries out in shock. Slap. The brown-haired maid stumbles back, her hand flying to her cheek in disbelief. Speak respectfully, Bella. Stumble. Huh? The brown-haired maid stares back at the green-haired woman, her hand still clutching her cheek, utterly stunned. Young miss, have you gone crazy? Glare. Just what are you doing right? A single eye, blurred against a dark background, looks out with a mixture of shock and defiance. I'm speaking my mind. The green-haired woman stares down imperiously, a watercolor-like background of flowers and a white butterfly swirling behind her. Get on your knees and beg, Bella. This is the only chance I'm giving for someone as arrogant as you. A hand extends a plate laden with a perfectly cooked steak, asparagus, and mushrooms. Here you go, place. The green-haired woman picks at her food, her face etched with disappointment. I would get an upset stomach at the duchy, so would only have salad. The woman with green hair savored her meal. It's delicious. Wow. That's right, in the bubble above. I almost forgot that meals were enjoyable occasions, she thought, a sense of peace settling over her. Lost in thought, the green-haired woman wondered, wow, how long has it been since I last enjoyed myself? The blonde woman stood with her back turned, contemplating her newfound freedom. It's not safe yet, she mused, but I no longer have to obsess over playing the role of Karina Bifta. Delighted, she watched as gold coins poured from the box. In the meantime, let's spend my untouched funds. Eating and buying anything I want, she decided with a gleeful smile. Holding a tray with a roasted chicken, she pondered her future. Once I'm freed, what kinds of things should I do? I could open a restaurant. An inn would be nice too. A plan began to form in her mind. But to do so, I'll have to join an adventurers guild. I should go meet Jin. I wonder if he'd recognize me? That's right, as long as I get out of here, some path will open up, she reassured herself. I guess it's a good thing that I studied like my life depended on it. Reaching for a book on the top shelf, she recalled her diverse studies. Foreign languages, ancient languages, even pharmacology. She looked up, completely captivated by the sight above. Drip. Rub. Wow. Amazing, she whispered, awestruck. The green-haired woman with a ponytail dabbed at her nose with a quill. Sniff. There have been occasions where I've gotten a bloody nose from fights, but this is the first time getting it from studying, she said, her friend with short green hair looking on with concern. Deciding to take a break, the man in the suit glanced down the hall. Let's work hard. He did a double take. Until this late. Amazing, he breathed, noticing someone down the hall. Scratch, scratch. Startled, the green-haired woman gasped as someone suddenly appeared before her, holding out a piece of paper. Her face softened, a gentle smile gracing her lips at the sight of the paper. And be acknowledged by father. Badump, badump. The man with short green hair scowled, his disappointment palpable. You can't even do this properly. The young girl with short green hair hung her head, her expression crestfallen. How shameful, she mumbled sadly. Cha. Standing outside the closed door, she sighed heavily. Shut, I was too arrogant. Dejected, she realized the truth. In father's eyes, I must still be very lacking. A glimmer of hope sparked in her eyes. But still, he's allowing me to participate in the hunting competition. Let's make a pretty tassel, for father and brother. She thought with renewed determination, for father and brother. The blonde woman in the shop raised an eyebrow. You came at this early hour? She asked, watching the green-haired woman examine ribbons. I want to buy a popular palette, the green-haired woman replied, her focus unwavering. That will suit father and brother, she murmured, carefully selecting a red ribbon from the shelf. The two women strolled down the street. A pretty color, the woman in the black dress complimented, glancing at the package. It's all wrapped, the green-haired woman responded cheerfully. I hope you make a pretty tassel, the woman in black added. Thank you. Gazing down at the pink gift bag, her heart swelled with emotion. She began. A wave of sadness washed over her. My hardest. In the end, I didn't even get to give it to them, she thought dejectedly. Did you see the young miss from the Bifta family? Someone asked, interrupting her thoughts. She gasped, covering her mouth with her hand in disbelief. Paris received many tassels from others. Did she not have anyone to give her tassels to? I wonder. The other woman continued. Even her family didn't accept her tassels. My word. Whisper. Whisper. Anger surged through her, and she clenched her fist. As a fellow lady, I'm embarrassed, she fumed. Grip. Disappointment weighed heavily on her. It ended with me not being able to catch even a glimpse of the Duke's face, she thought sadly. Her head snapped up, a flicker of surprise crossing her face. After all, he's very busy, she mused, her gaze landing on a nearby doorway. Ah, it's this place. Approaching the door, she drew a deep breath and knocked. Excuse me, she called out, I'm here to buy materials for tassels. The shopkeeper covered her mouth with her hand, her brow furrowed with concern. Oh my, what to do? She fretted. The tassel materials are mostly sold out, so there aren't any pretty colors left. It's not that important, so I don't need pretty colors, the green-haired woman declared resolutely. Show me what you have left. Her hand hovered over a bolt of black cloth, a memory flashing through her mind. The winner of the hunting competition wore black armor. I suppose black is good? She pointed confidently at a roll of black fabric. 2 bundles of the black color, please, she requested. Please wait a moment, replied the shopkeeper. Turning to the green-haired woman, the shopkeeper inquired, Would you like glass beads or pearls? Glass beads, she answered politely, momentarily taken aback by the shopkeeper's surprised expression. The shopkeeper beamed warmly. Smile, I'll have them ready for you soon, so please rest a bit. She's a gentle person, the green-haired woman thought, her cheeks flushing with warmth. Ah, it's warm, thank you, she murmured, her heart filled with a quiet happiness. The sky blazed with the vibrant hues of sunset, casting a peaceful glow over the rooftops. As the green-haired woman disappeared down the garden path, a man with matching green hair stood in a doorway, his gaze lingering on the fading light, a hint of longing in his eyes. The man with the green headband glanced down, his expression serious. That's right, the woman in the white blouse replied, her gaze steady. Concern etched itself on the man's face as he addressed someone. Father, he began, did something happen to her, by any chance? Nothing happened, the woman with the blue earring stated firmly, her expression unreadable. The man with green hair frowned, recalling a previous conversation. That child is acting strangely these days, he muttered, mentioned something similar, perhaps. You have some suspicions, the man in the black suit stated, his back turned as he gazed out the window. Bella, the woman with brown hair replied, her tone serious. The morning of the hunting competition dawned, and the green-haired woman in the blue dress waited, her face a mask of determination. The carriage pulled up, its white horses moving with practiced grace. Clip, clop, my lady, a voice rang out from below. The brown-haired woman beamed. The carriage is ready. Please make your way on. Looking down at the woman in the gray dress, the green-haired woman spoke. Bella, she began, I will help you. Her gaze hardened as she addressed the woman in gray. Though you've been faking obedience until now, she accused, you report my every move to the Duke. I don't need your help, she stated firmly, her gaze fixed on the doorway. I just need to grasp the door and step in. She took a hesitant step forward, a flicker of unease crossing her face. Sway. A sudden wave of dizziness washed over her. Oh, her heart pounded in her chest. Jolt. Thump. I feel strange. Thump. Thump. Why do I suddenly feel so restless? Her vision blurred, and a single name escaped her lips, heavy with sadness. Karina. I'm coming in, a voice boomed from behind. Her head whipped up, her eyes wide with surprise. This voice. She gasped, her breath catching in her throat as she recognized the man who strode towards her. The Duke? The sound of approaching hooves echoed in the air. Clip, clop. She found herself seated inside the carriage, the Duke opposite her, his expression thunderous. What is this? He demanded. Why do you have to ride in the same carriage as me? Thump, 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 thump. Her hands clenched into fists, her heart pounding against her ribs. Thump, 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 clench, clench. Are you nervous because of the Duke? Her voice was barely a whisper. My heart. There she is. Thump, thump, thump. Get her. Thump, thump. The air crackled with tension. The only sound in the room was the rustle of fabric as the black curtain, stained with ominous red splatters, swayed gently. By order of the Duke, the words hung in the air, heavy with unspoken menace. Outside, the world was bathed in the soft glow of morning. Birdsong filled the air, chirp, chirp, chirp. Karina? He whispered, chirp. The green-haired woman's brow furrowed with concern. Are you feeling sick? She asked gently. If so, you should change your schedule so you can receive a proper checkup immediately. He brushed her concern aside, his jaw set stubbornly. C.Lop. So that was it. I'm fine. I'm not sick. C.Lop. He stared down at the carriage wheel, lost in thought. Was in a carriage back then, too, he murmured, a wave of bitter memories washing over him. Rage twisted his features. I died under the command of this man, he thought, his fingers digging into his chin. You're not calling me father these days, he observed gruffly, his gaze fixed on the woman seated across from him. I just wish to be respectful, she replied calmly, her tone carefully neutral. The carriage rattled along the road, its once grand exterior now showing signs of wear and tear. Rattle, father, you've been acting strangely these past few days, Karina, he noted. Her gaze dropped to her hands, a sense of inadequacy washing over her. Unlike myself, Your Excellency. A mischievous glint sparkled in her eyes. Me? You're thinking about? How do I usually act? She asked, a playful smirk gracing her lips. Her voice, resolute and cold, echoed in the air. You'll never see it again. The Duke has arrived. Above the vibrant tapestry of the forest, a banner proclaimed, "The hunting competition, Fulheim Forest," a humble name for a place where miracles happen. She descended from the opulent carriage, a flicker of apprehension in her eyes. Held every few years, the scale of competition is quite fierce, she murmured. Nobles and knights alike gathered for the spectacle, their anticipation palpable. Many sons and daughters of nobility as well as knights gather, an observer remarked. Her gaze swept across the crowd, searching for a familiar figure. Glance. Where's the knight in black armor? She wondered, her brow furrowing slightly. Glance. The black outfit should make him easy to spot. She mused, her steps slowing as she scanned the faces around her. Step, step. She navigated the throngs of people, a growing sense of unease settling over her. Step, step. Where is he? Ah. Her face lit up, a joyful smile spreading across her lips. Badum. There he is. He stood apart from the crowd, a formidable figure clad in gleaming black and gold armor, his face hidden behind his helmet. Maybe nothing has changed from when it happened in the past, she thought, her gaze downcast. However, I wonder. She turned away, her heart heavy with a familiar ache. Our eyes met, the knight in black armor murmured, his gaze fixed on the woman in blue. Flanked by the imposing figures of the knights, she walked on, a shiver of apprehension running down her spine. Karina? The man in the red jacket asked, his brow furrowed with concern as he watched the green-haired woman. Ah, she breathed. He disappeared. Confusion clouded her thoughts. Did he walk away? She wondered, her mind racing. There's still a lot of time before the competition ends. There'll be another chance. She stood before him, a confident smile gracing her lips. Did you call me, father? She asked. Father. Her words hung in the air, leaving the man speechless. Ah. He stammered, his composure shaken. Understanding dawned slowly, like the rising sun. So that's how it is. The man with green hair smirked, his yellow eyes gleaming. As expected, you're very clever, Karina. That's right, you must dedicate yourself to your role. Let us go to our camp. The green-haired woman, a worried expression on her face, listened intently. Spend their time leisurely in their own tents that displayed their family insignia. So in other words, she turned to the man beside her, her concern growing. You want me to suffer in this cramped space with all these people? And for a week at that? My lady, Auntie. The young woman's eyes widened in surprise. She followed the woman in the brown dress. My lady, the bedchamber is this way. The green-haired woman looked surprised. A message from Kuren arrived. Freeze. What? From Kuren? She asked, shocked. Yes, he sent a letter saying he'll return soon. He did not go into specifics as to when, though. The scene shifted to a flashback. Ah, right, it was during the hunting competition. Kuren returned after the hunting competition ended. Spark. Kuren Bifta, a hand, clad in black, ignited a spark of light. A blaze. An outstanding sword mage who was talented in both magic and swordsmanship. The orange-haired man held a spark of fire in his hand. He was the Bifta family's second son, and his smile radiated warmth against the backdrop of flames. He was. The story began, shrouded in mystery. What's this? The green-haired girl asked, holding up a worn pen. It looks really worn out, the orange-haired girl observed. That's the pen I use when studying, she explained to the orange-haired boy. He examined the pen curiously. Is that so? Crack. Her eyes widened in surprise. If you think it's a waste, why don't you pick it up and use it again? She said pointedly, her frustration evident as she glared at the orange-haired boy. The very person who tormented me openly. Kuren's return completely slipped my mind. She covered her eye, overwhelmed with regret. I also heard a rumor about the bandits' treasure house being robbed. A sense of indifference settled. If the culprit is a thief, then it's fine. Yes. With a burst of energy, she dashed after the brown-haired woman. He returned. A week after the competition. I can still remember it clearly, she thought sadly, her hand resting on the curtain. Splatter. Fidget. Fidget. What? She asked anxiously. Do you not like it? This brother of yours even brought you a gift. You're making me sad. No, it's not that, she stammered, her cheeks flushing pink. Thank you, I like it. That's right, he smirked, his arrogance evident. That's how it should be. Throb, throb, ha, she touched her forehead, a wave of anxiety washing over her. Dizzy, slam, stagger, flap, ah, this. Disoriented, she swayed, her hand flying to her forehead. Pick up, she gathered the scattered papers, startled when a hand reached for the same sheet. Slip, this. Isn't this a map? She wondered aloud, her eyes widening in surprise as she examined the paper. It's slightly marked all over. Tombstone? Could this be a hunting map? The markings and compass hinted at a hidden adventure. If I have this, then I can take a quick stroll. The hunt ends at 5 in the afternoon, so I'll just need to come back before then, right? She pondered the map, a plan forming in her mind. Okay, let's go out. Let's also bring a pen along. I was just about to get bored of staying here anyway. If I bump into the Duchess by coincidence. She gathered her things, a hopeful smile on her face. Flash, her eyes widened in shock, her breath catching in her throat. The blonde-haired woman stood in the shadows, her brow furrowed in a mixture of sadness and confusion. Glare, you're afraid that someone might see you, isn't that right? The blonde-haired woman accused, her red eyes burning into her. Flinch, what are you doing? She stammered, shrinking back. So you're not even going to greet me? The woman asked. She looked down, her shoulders slumping. But you never liked me greeting you ever since, she mumbled. What, did you not? She searched her memory, a knot of frustration growing in her stomach as she tried to understand the woman's sadness. Slap, the world spun, a burning pain blooming on her cheek. Humiliation flooded her, hot tears pricking at her eyes. Wait, she stared up in disbelief, her heart pounding in her chest. Kya, ah, the blow caught her completely off guard, sending a sharp pain through her cheek. Don't talk back to me, the blonde-haired woman warned. Tremble, she cowered, fear gripping her heart as she raised a hand to her throbbing cheek. Throb, the pain in her cheek mirrored the ache in her heart. I'll be going out for a while, a voice echoed through the quiet room, leaving her alone with the neatly stacked papers. Run, dash, she fled, her dress billowing behind her as she raced across the grassy field. Halt, wipe, she came to a stop, her shoulders shaking as a tear escaped, tracing a path down her cheek. Despair washed over her, leaving her trembling in its wake. The forest, the trees beckoned, promising solace and a moment of peace. Whoosh, it seems as if my mind feels quite at ease. The forest looks really beautiful. She strolled along the path, the gentle breeze whispering through the leaves. What is that? She paused, her curiosity piqued by something in the distance. A tombstone? The ancient stone stood sentinel among the trees, a silent reminder of lives lived and lost. Whoa, so big. This tombstone is huge. Is this the one marked on the map? Done. She stared up at the towering stone, her eyes wide with awe. Touch. It's smooth. The surface of the tombstone is written with information in an ancient language. She traced the inscription, her fingers gliding over the worn surface. I don't really want to return to my tent right now. She lingered by the tombstone, drawn in by its mystery. What if I try to decipher this writing inscribed on the tombstone? Someday, this writing. I hope that sometime in the future, there will be a person who will be able to interpret this writing. Scribble, plop, she settled down, determined to unravel the secrets of the ancient language. Shine, this is what she focused on her task, the afternoon sunlight glinting off the tombstone's surface. Dim, when did it get so late? I should get going. Thud, she froze, a shiver running down her spine as the light began to fade. Grr, she hugged herself, worry twisting in her gut. What was that? There's something nearby. Grr, two glowing eyes pierced the gathering darkness, sending a jolt of fear through her. Is it a wild animal? She gasped. Crack, a clawed hand, caked in dirt, emerged from the shadows. She reached down to untie her shoe, oblivious to the low growl and the pair of hungry eyes watching her every move. I just need a bit more time, she whispered, her heart pounding as the wolf edged closer, its teeth bared in a menacing snarl. "I did it," she breathed, relief flooding through her as her foot connected with the shoe. Thud, a single eye, its pupil narrowed, watched from the shadows. Jump, roar, the wolf launched itself into the air, its jaws open in a terrifying roar. Run, turn, she whirled around, fear lending speed to her steps as she fled. Stomp, 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 woof, woof. She didn't dare slow down, her only thought to escape the terrifying creature on her heels. Stomp, grr, the wolf snarled, its fangs glinting as it stalked closer. "I was wrong," she cried, despair choking her voice. "It will catch up to me soon." Panic surged through her, urging her onward. A flat, or, she gasped, her fingers clutching at the stranger's armor as she stumbled into him. "Don't look," he whispered. Slash, groan, the wolf let out a pained whine as a blade of energy sliced through the air, sending it crashing to the ground. The stranger stood protectively in front of her, his sword glowing with a powerful light. Thud, phew, you don't need to worry now, he said reassuringly, his gaze fixed on the fallen wolf. "It is a pleasure to meet you, Lady Karina Bifta," he said. She stared up at him, her mind racing. "You are," she began. "I wonder why a black knight like him is here this late," she thought, her gaze lingering on his imposing figure. "Are you all right?" the black knight asked, his gaze searching her face. "Ah, yes," she stammered, flustered by his concern. "Thank you so much for saving me from that wild animal," she said, a grateful smile blooming on her face. "Everyone has been looking for you, my lady. It is almost nighttime, yet you haven't returned to your tent. What made you go this deep into the forest?" Sweat, he went straight to the point. She shrank under his direct gaze, her cheeks flushing with embarrassment. "I wanted to take a stroll," she mumbled, clenching her fist in annoyance. "I understand that there are times when someone wants to be alone," the Black Knight said. "If you go straight and follow this road, you'll find the tent," he said, pointing in the direction of the camp. "Ah, you're not going back with me?" she asked, surprised that he wasn't escorting her all the way back. "Jolt, I'm going to look around a little bit more. I'll watch you as you go back," he replied, his gaze steady. "Please go now." Then, I can give him the tassel now," she thought, relief washing over her. "Excuse me, rummage." He shifted his weight, his hand disappearing into the folds of his cloak. "Will you accept this tassel?" she asked, holding out the delicate white object. This, a black diamond glistened at the end of the silken cord, its elegant tassel swaying gently in the breeze. "Why are you giving me this tassel? We aren't even acquainted." "Oh, why am I giving it to you?" He turned, his brow furrowed in confusion. "That's because," she began. A man, cloaked in shadows, strode through the forest, his presence radiating an aura of mystery. "Excuse me," the blue-haired man stammered, his confusion evident. She smiled playfully. Isn't rejecting a lady's sincerity against the conduct of a knight? She tilted her head, her expression innocent as she waited for his response. "Tilt. That's right," he conceded, realization dawning on his face. "Then, offer," he began, his gaze fixed on her. "Could you put it on for me?" he finished, extending his arm towards her. "Put it on?" she echoed, her cheeks flushing crimson. "What's this?" Flustered, she stared at him, a mixture of confusion and embarrassment swirling within her. "The other ladies did it that way," he said with a slight smirk, clearly amused by her reaction. "Hey." Her mind raced, trying to process his words. What other ladies? Why would they? "All right, slide." The last vestiges of tension seemed to dissipate as she adjusted the tassel on his armor. "I will pray for your victory," she said, her heart filled with hope. Clink, retract. He reached out, his gloved hand gently grasping the collar of her shirt. Hold. Then, in return, his fingers brushed against her skin as he captured her hand in his touch surprisingly gentle. "Kiss. I will offer you my victory," he vowed, his lips pressing a light kiss against her knuckles. Flinch. She stared at him, her eyes wide with surprise. The sky blazed with color, a vibrant tapestry of orange, pink, and purple hues. The knight scans for someone, a silent warning in his stance. "Is it you he seeks?" Asterisk. Startled, she turns to face the knight, confusion clouding her features. Ah, dazed. Please return immediately. Yes. Asterisk. With a heavy heart, she turns away from the knight, each step a painful echo of their parting. Turn. Step. Step. Asterisk. Her brow furrows, a knot of worry tightening in her chest. Outside her tent, frantic calls pierce the night, fueled by worry and flickering firelight. My lady, where have you been? Asterisk. She sighs, her ruined dress a testament to the predicament she finds herself in. Well, this is quite a predicament. I had planned on returning without anyone noticing. The Duke is furious. Nag nag. Oh my, just look at your ruined dress. Bella. Asterisk. The maid's eyes widen, shock evident on her face at the unexpected request. Prepare me something more comfortable for tomorrow, rather than a dress. Shocked. Pardon? What kind? Sigh. Figure it out on your own. Asterisk. Pardon me for the intrusion. Asterisk. Hidden in the shadows, she peeks from behind the curtain, her heart pounding nervously in her chest. Gulp. Asterisk. The air crackles with tension as the Duke dismisses his entourage, his gaze fixed intently upon her. Everyone, leave us. Yes, sir. Asterisk. He fixes her with an intense stare, suspicion lacing his voice as he questions her recent actions. Asterisk. Karina, just what were you doing? I took a short stroll around the area. Asterisk. A sly smirk curls his lips, amusement tinged with disdain coloring his words. So the daughter of a duke took a stroll, then vanished and had to have knights mobilized for her too. His gaze pierces her, each word a sharp accusation hurled in her direction. Then, how about before you took a stroll? What exactly were you doing the entire day? Shouldn't you be doing your necessary duties as Karina Bifta? Asterisk. Her fingers nervously twist together, guilt heavy in her voice as she mumbles her response. Asterisk. I was doing the other things I wanted to do. Mumble grip. And what may that be? Asterisk. Anguish washes over her, his harsh words crashing down like thunder. I thought you were smart, but clearly, you're out of your mind. Asterisk. A smug smirk plays on his lips, his tone laced with mocking disdain. I heard you also recently raised your hand against Bella? So Bella did. Have you become so arrogant because of your role? Asterisk. Her eyes flash with defiant anger. You should think about why you're in that position. Clench. If I stop performing my role, won't it also be troublesome for you, Duke? Asterisk. He throws back his head and laughs, her words nothing more than a source of amusement. Asterisk. Troublesome? If you stop performing your role, do you think you would be free to do what you want? No, you'll starve to death. Asterisk. He leans closer. Or, just like before, you'll engage in fights just so you can eat the bread from the garbage in the back alley. Asterisk. Shame burns in her chest, his words a heavy weight settling upon her shoulders. Know your place. If you want to live the life you're living right now, you shouldn't do anything that puts the family to shame. Asterisk. Defeat washes over her, his words a final dismissal that leaves her utterly broken. Let's calm down. I have to endure it for now. Since you understand, we'll stop here. You are dismissed. Asterisk. Despair clouds her vision, the weight of the future pressing down on her. Asterisk 1 year. The forest stands cloaked in shadows, a silent witness to her desperate hope. If I just endure it for 1 year. He strides through the undergrowth, a humorless laugh escaping his lips. Asterisk. Ha. Asterisk. The night air hangs heavy with foreboding, a sense of unseen eyes watching his every move. Ha. He stumbles, armor heavy as exhaustion saps his strength. I can't. Pant. Pant. Asterisk in a place like this. Panic seizes him, his breath coming in ragged gasps as a strange ailment courses through him. Cough. Gasp. Tremble. Tremble. Throb. No, it's progressing too fast. Asterisk. His hand trembles, clutching the vial with desperate hope. Ba dump. Clench. Ba dump. The medicine. Glimmer. Florida. Asterisk. Confusion washes over him as the pain recedes, leaving a strange emptiness in its wake. Shish. Asterisk. What's going on? The pain is subsiding. Asterisk. A startled gasp escapes his lips as a warm light flares from his outstretched hand. Snap. This is, asterisk. He bows, presenting the delicate fabric with quiet reverence. Asterisk. My lady, this is the dress the Duke picked out. Asterisk. Exhaustion pulls at her, a weary sigh escaping her lips. Leave it and go. Asterisk. I'm tired. Throb, throb. Asterisk. She closes her eyes, searching for the elusive memory hidden within the depths of her mind. Lop, right. There was this. Asterisk. A thoughtful frown graces her features as she traces the worn cover of the book. Open. Let's divert our focus. Shall I read the contents of the tombstone I deciphered earlier? Asterisk. His gaze lingers on the faded inscription, a bittersweet longing echoing in his heart. I hope someone will be able to read this. Asterisk. He dips his pen, his words flowing onto the page, fueled by the thrill of discovery. This is the story of the forest I explored. Asterisk. Intrigue flickers in her eyes as she absorbs the fantastical tale. The tombstone had a fairy tale-like story engraved on it. Asterisk. Wonder dances in her eyes as she recounts the mythical creatures and hidden riches. There was a passage about spirits dwelling deep within the forest, and a passage about a hidden treasure vault owned by the ancient people. Asterisk. A delighted gasp escapes her lips as she uncovers another exciting possibility. Asterisk. A place you could never get tired of treasure hunting in. There was even a passage about a secret door to the dwarves' village. Asterisk. She throws her head back against the pillow, a soft laugh escaping her lips. What a humorous fellow. If I ever get the chance, I would like to explore the entire forest. Ba dump, ba dump. Asterisk. A mischievous grin spreads across her face, the day's danger fading against the thrill of the unknown. Today was dangerous. Asterisk. Her brow furrows, confusion clouding her features. This didn't happen before. Asterisk. Is the future changing because I'm behaving differently from how I did before I died? Throb. Asterisk. A newfound resolve hardens her gaze, fear giving way to a fierce determination to survive. I don't want to die again. I want to avoid dangerous matters as much as possible. That's right. Asterisk. I should not go to the forest ever again. Asterisk. Is what? She hesitates, drawn by an unseen force. I thought, but whenever I close my eyes. Asterisk. The image of the ancient stone, shrouded in mystery, surfaces in her mind's eye, an irresistible pull beckoning her closer. I keep envisioning that forest. Asterisk. I wonder why. Perhaps that forest is calling for me? Asterisk. A quiet whisper escapes her lips, a yearning for the unknown echoing in her heart. Asterisk. One more time, to that forest. Lady. Asterisk. Her head snaps up, surprise etched across her face at the sound of her name. Asterisk. Bifta? Surprised. What are you thinking? The lady smiles, a knowing glint in her eyes. You thinking so deeply about? Usually, you'd be well engaged in our conversations. You would listen to any of our requests, even though we didn't need an errand boy. Ho ho. Asterisk. Annoyance flickers across her face, her patience wearing thin. Ah, right, she exists. Isn't that right, Lady Euclid? Ignore. She's the same as ever, trying to pick fights. Asterisk. Lady Aaliyah's lips curl into a mischievous smirk, her eyes sparkling with mischief. Lady Aaliyah, the troublemaker of the noble circles. Asterisk. He sighs, the weight of his troubles evident in his posture. Although the Marquis is an esteemed noble, he has suffered many hardships because of her. He's also quite pitiful. Asterisk. Her eyes widen as a chilling realization dawns upon her. Come to think of it, that person beside her, Lady Euclid. Asterisk. A single tear traces a path through the dust on her cheek, the weight of the prophecy heavy on her heart. She will die of scarlet disease half a year from now. She contemplates the ramifications, a flicker of determination igniting in her eyes. If I let her know about her death in advance, she probably would not be wasting her time away like this. Asterisk. Uncertainty flickers in her eyes as she weighs her options, torn between self-preservation and a desire for change. Is it all right for me to stay like this, rather than saving myself from my father's schemes? Asterisk. The spoon clatters against the delicate china, her composure shattered by the unexpected suggestion. Isn't it better to act differently altogether? Kya. Asterisk. She stands tall, a newfound strength radiating from her as she contemplates her next move. She freezes, senses on high alert as a twig snaps in the undergrowth. Rustle, the forest. She nods, a plan forming in her mind. All right, let's go there one more time. The wind suddenly. Push. It's still noon, so it'll be fine. Asterisk. She fixes her gaze on the other woman. If I leave like this, people will surely talk behind my back, Lady Bifta. Why are you? But their silly gossip won't reach the Duke's ears. I have an important matter to attend to, so it doesn't matter. Asterisk. She offers a polite smile. I will be leaving first. Asterisk. He pauses, a flicker of curiosity drawing his gaze to the moss-covered stone. Rustle, hum. With determined strides, they approach the mysterious rock, their voices hushed with anticipation. Step, step, so the reports were true. What exactly are we looking? A collective gasp escapes their lips as the ancient inscription begins to glow with an otherworldly light. For some reason, the tombstone is acting up. To be continued. Asterisk. She shields her eyes, a thoughtful hum escaping her lips. Hum. Her fingers trace the weathered inscription, determination fueling her efforts to decipher its secrets. I just need to decipher the last part. Asterisk. The scratching of her quill against parchment provides a steady rhythm to the quiet forest sounds. Scritch, scratch, rustle, asterisk. She frowns, confusion tightening her brow as she examines the inscription. Asterisk. Turn, asterisk. She whirls around, fear prickling at the edges of her awareness. What was that? There's something in the forest. Similar to when I went here last time. Is it a wild animal? No, it's as if. Asterisk. Adrenaline surges through her, urging her to retreat. For now, I should try not to make any noise and slowly. A startled gasp escapes her lips as a hand gently touches her shoulder. What should I do, my lady? Asterisk. Her breath catches in her throat, a scream escaping her lips as she stumbles back in terror. This, kya? Scream. It seems like I have startled you. Asterisk. Her eyes widen in disbelief, heart pounding against her ribs. Asterisk. Sir Black Knight. Asterisk. She manages a shaky nod, relief washing over her as he offers a sincere apology. You must have been very shocked. I deeply apologize. No, it's all right. Asterisk. He frowns, concern etched across his features. More importantly, for you to be in the forest at this time of day. It is only because I saw my lady enter the forest alone. Asterisk. Disbelief floods her senses, quickly followed by a wave of irritation. He followed me all the way here. Aren't you supposed to be at the hunting grounds? This person should be taking the championship. Asterisk. Panic flares in her chest, her carefully constructed plans threatening to unravel. Don't tell me this person's future is also changing because of me? It's definitely something minor, but still. Asterisk. In comparison to hunting, I have more to worry about. Asterisk. Her jaw drops, indignation warring with disbelief. More interest in my lady. Didn't you offer me your victory before? What nonsense is he spouting right now? Your efforts alone won't be enough to attain the victory you have offered me. Asterisk. She cringes, mortification heating her cheeks. I did my best to the point that I won't be embarrassed in front of my lady. Haha. Asterisk. She sighs. It's fine. I apologize if I have disturbed my lady's personal time. You should be more concerned about your own schedule and time. I'm pretty sure you have important things to do. Asterisk. She pinches the bridge of her nose, struggling to maintain her composure. I meant the hunting competition. Come to think of it, I actually wanted to have a look at the tombstone. I would have forgotten about it if you did not remind me. Asterisk. Incredulity colors her tone, her patience wearing thin. But did you hold any interest in the tombstone before? The hunting competition has always been held in this forest. What a shameless person. I thought the sole purpose of this tombstone was to merely guide the people that enter the forest. Asterisk. He frowns, a flicker of curiosity in his eyes. Even if it is, I never knew it was inscribed with ancient texts up until now. Asterisk. I saw that you were busy writing down something earlier. Asterisk. She flinches, caught off guard by the unexpected question. Do you perhaps know how to read ancient language? Flinch. Asterisk. She stammers, acutely aware of his scrutinizing gaze. Just a little. I am not looking down on you. It's just that people who can decipher ancient language are rare. There won't be any problems if I tell him, right? Asterisk. Hope flickers in her eyes, tinged with a lingering sadness. I see. If you don't mind, could you tell me what you have deciphered? Well, it's not like the contents were anything incredible. Asterisk. She closes her eyes, a sense of peace settling over her. If that is what you want, to whoever deciphered this till the end. Asterisk. He chuckles softly, the rabbit's soft fur warm against his fingertips. It must mean that you find my story quite interesting. Asterisk. He strokes the rabbit's ears, a wistful smile gracing his lips. Besides that, it must also mean that you want to explore the forest. Although I have traveled the world and acquired many achievements, what I enjoyed the most. He chisels away at the stone, driven by a profound sense of purpose. Was writing down all the knowledge I've acquired in this tombstone. Asterisk. A resounding clap echoes through the clearing, his enthusiasm palpable. You would definitely become the best storyteller. Or rather, you would find out that fairy tales aren't just fairy tales. Asterisk. He raises a finger. Before I forget, don't anger the forest's master. He's got a very bad temper. Asterisk. He frowns, perplexed by the cryptic advice. Asterisk. She smiles, a touch of wistfulness in her voice. Now I'm curious about the rest of the story. Were you aware that there were more tombstones in this place? I am. There was a map provided for it. However, I was only able to come here thanks to the hunting competition. Even if I do want to find out more about the story, I have no actual reason to search for the tombstones anymore, and I can't do anything dangerous. Asterisk. Her head snaps up, eyes widening in astonishment. Asterisk. I know the location of the other tombstones nearby. Asterisk. He clears his throat, a nervous tremor in his voice. How about visiting the forest with me for twice a month? Bam. What are you saying? I don't even know what you look like. I will protect you, my lady. Asterisk. She laughs, a genuine smile lighting up her face. You're too much. No need. It's fine. You're the one who looks more dangerous. I'll take that as a compliment. Asterisk. She raises an eyebrow, amusement dancing in her eyes. You're hurting my feelings. I see you're also good at joking. Why are you so interested in me? Asterisk. She throws her hands up in exasperation, a knot of suspicion tightening in her chest. I feel like I'm being completely deceived. That's because. She pauses, brow furrowed in thought. You gave me a tassel. Asterisk. She fixes him with an intense stare. Did you personally craft that tassel? It has the power to alleviate my symptoms. Thus, I have to find out where the power in the tassel comes from. Asterisk. The woman with long green hair is surprised. Just be blunt with me. You're dissatisfied with the gift I gave you, right? The man in purple clothing replies, yes, I personally made the tassel I gave you. With a serious expression, he continues, then, did you perhaps use a special material? He clarifies, I bought the material I used from a regular store, personally. Confused, the woman in the purple dress listens as the man in purple clothing quickly says, no. It seems like you're not satisfied with it. You don't have to worry as I didn't put any curse in it, but if you're that worried. The armored person in the forest looks up worriedly. That's not it. My heart just, above the sky, fluttered. The green-haired woman looks concerned, at the thought that you might have feelings for me. I see. Blushing, she looks at her hand. I'm saying this just in case you misunderstand, but I had no one to give it to, that's why I gave it to you. She looks towards the cloaked figure. We're done here, right? Then, if you excuse me. The cloaked figure interjects, wait. Confused, she asks, what if I already misunderstood? Pardon? The armored person clasps their hands together confidently. My heart is already. Startled, the woman in the purple dress looks up at the armored person. Flinch, you know that's not what I meant. The tassel was only my repayment to you for saving me. However, the woman with long green hair sits in the room, surprised. No one would craft a tassel that's pitch black in color. Shabby, radiant, dazzling. That's why. The person with yellow eyes is shocked. That's why I thought you purposely chose a color that would suit me. That's true, but... The armored person laughs lightly. Am I? Jumping to conclusions? He's doing this on purpose, isn't he? The blue-haired man riding the horse mutters, stressed, I can't get involved. Do you think he'll just believe anything you say and go on a tombstone tour with you? The green-haired woman looks worried. The only thing I know about the Black Knight is that he's the victor of the hunting competition. But still, today is the last day of the competition. The armored man laughs as he calms his horse. Whoa, if he's to win, he should be hunting with all his might right now. There's also not much time left before the competition ends, even if he returns to the hunting grounds now. The green-haired woman is frustrated. It'll be hard to make up for the wasted time. Looking at it, it doesn't seem like he'll easily back down anytime soon. Determined, she declares, if that's the case, then, if you win the hunting competition, I will give you my time. The man in black armor looks confident. So if I win? The clouds seem to echo the agreement. Then it's a promise. If I win, you will give me a day of your time. The green-haired woman laughs at the confused men. I mean, one says, just from which house was that knight from? It looks like the hunting competition has ended. He caught so many animals in just an hour. An hour? The men are astonished. The green-haired woman is in disbelief. What's this? There's no way, right? Somehow, I feel anxious. There's no way. The green-haired man slumps, troubled. Karina. Tension fills the air as the man in the purple dress confronts the others. Looks like the tea party is over. Brother and father. The green-haired man sighs with resignation. Let's all head back together. Yes, what a bad timing. The green-haired man's eyes flash. Glance. He walks briskly across the grass. Step, father, step. Who was that knight in black armor? He's quite amazing. The green-haired woman in the blue dress ponders this. Black Knight? The green-haired man in the middle is warned by the other man. There's no need to get involved with him. Neither is there any reason to get closer to him, much less offend him. Does father know who he is? The woman with green hair is concerned. Is he someone we need to be wary of? The green-haired man smirks. Hey, if it's you, then it's fine. The woman in the blue dress watches the others walk away. What does he mean? Excitement hangs in the air. Now, I'm even more curious. Whoa. The next day. The crowd roars with excitement. All right, cheer. It's the moment you've all been waiting for. The man in the black suit beams. Echo. The announcement of the victor. This year's results are truly astounding. The green-haired girl covers her ears. A single person was able to hunt a massive amount all by himself. My ears are going deaf. The man in the suit raises his card. Everyone, I will now announce this year's victor. Light explodes around the newcomer. Bam! Participating for the first time this year. Grand Duke Hexian Militario. The green-haired woman can only gape in astonishment. The crowd buzzes with the news. Black Knight. The Black Knight is Grand Duke Hexian? The blonde woman in the green dress considers this. Marriage with Grand Duke Hexian? How befitting of your status. My marriage partner in 3 years. The brown-haired woman gasps. Grand Duke Hexian, Militario. That cursed. Is this true? Whisper. My goodness. The man in the helmet stares in disbelief. He's looking here? The cloaked man turns away. What's the matter, Your Grace? The green-haired woman asks. Wait, where is Your Grace going? The crowd parts in surprise. The Grand Duke is suddenly heading towards the audience. Don't tell me. Panic rises in the green-haired woman. She's not heading towards me, right? Excuse me, could you move? I have an important matter. This isn't good. First, let's get away. Her blood runs cold. My lady. Fear takes root, heading towards me, Your Grace. A voice rings out from the black cloak, soft yet steady. You can call me like how you usually would. Flutter. The armored man kneels, offering the golden object. I almost felt sad thinking that you've already forgotten me. He raises the golden trophy high. I kept my promise. The woman in the purple dress is lost in thought. My lady.